Abortion cause violence, of whom abortion cause the violence of the living embroy inside the mother's womb. But for that embroy to develop inside the mother's womb, was there any cost behind? In fact, behind the development of that single embroy inside the mother's womb, there was a cost of millions of lives. You know, a woman has a menstrual cycle on an average of 28 days. In the first 14 days, woman's ovaries release at least 5 to 10 immature eggs. The most healthy one survives, and the most healthy one is only one egg which survives, and approximately on 14th day of the menstrual cycle, that healthiest egg, that mature egg, travels from ovary to the fallopian tube, eventually to the uterus. So you see here, ovary releases approximately 5 to 20 immature eggs. All dies, only the healthiest egg survive and travel to the uterus. And it waits for the sperm so that it can mate with the sperm and eventually develop into an embryo. So women have released 5 to 20 living cells, eggs, and eventually all die except one. Isn't that a violence? Isn't that a violence in the course of nature? Isn't that a violence? Every month, every woman do due to the natural construct of her body, and that one egg, which is the healthiest one, if that egg survive, that egg also dies if that egg don't get the sperm. Isn't that a violence? That is a violence by the nature, by the course of nature. And every woman on this earth do this violence every month. Now let us come to the male part. Male produce sperm 24/7. There is a sperm factory inside male working on 24/7 producing millions of sperm. And when a male masturbates, he releases millions of sperms outside his body. And those sperms, if they meet the egg, they can develop into an embroy, can give a life. Are sperms alive? Yes, they are alive. That's why they are capable of giving life and further develop into an embroy. Are eggs alive in female's body? Yes, that's why egg is capable of developing into an embroy and giving or passing the life further on to the embroy. So when a male masturbates, don't he commit violence towards millions of life? Sperm can at most survive till 5 days only. After that sperm dies if sperm do not get the egg. And if egg do not get the sperm, then egg also die. So forget about the abortion. Don't you think that before the stage of embryo there is a mass violence inside female's body and male's body? Aren't they committing murder of their own living cells inside their body? Or they are not committing murder of their own living cells inside their body? If that is a course of nature, then nature is committing violence against the living cells? Yes. But if nature don't think bad in committing violence against the living cells, male as well as female, then why do you think that violence is a bad thing? And before each embryo develops, for an embryo to develop, there is very limited seeds available. For an embryo to develop, only one egg is needed, not more than that, and only one sperm is needed, not more than that. So the very requirement of an embryo is on the basis of mass killing of millions of sperm except one, and mass killing of many eggs except one. Whenever male releases semen, in semen there are millions of sperm, and only one sperm goes to the egg and develops into embryo. Rest millions of sperm die. Isn't that a violence? Isn't that a killing of a living being, living cell? And before that one mature egg that reaches to the uterus, wasn't there a killing of living female cells? Those immature eggs, wasn't there a violence of those immature eggs? There was a violence in the female side as well as male side. So forget about the abortion. Even the very birth process involves many violence. Even the one single embroy requires mass killing of living cells. Then only embroy can develop. And you feel sad for violence at the time of abortion. You feel sorry for the violence at the time of abortion. You feel pity for the embryo which is being aborted. Then you must consider the sacrifice of millions of sperms before that embryo and the sacrifice of many eggs before that embryo. If you are feeling pity for the embryo which is being aborted, which is being killed, then you should also feel pity for the male living cells which were being sacrificed as well as the female living cells. In fact, whatsoever your gender is, either male or female, you also involved in killing your own living cell every month. Don't you feel pity for thyself, for your own living cells? Don't you feel guilty? Don't you feel guilty for killing your own living cells? When you masturbate, if you are a boy, male, when you masturbate or you have a nightfall, don't you kill many living sperms? And if you are a female, don't you kill every month many immature eggs? So you should feel pity for them at the very initial stage before getting a sympathy for an embryo which is being aborted. If you feel pity for the violence against the embryo, then you should also feel pity for the violence you commit against your own living cell. Otherwise, you are an hypocrite. So, forget about it, first of all, whether abortion is right or wrong, whether abortion is a right of a female or not. Just ponder upon a question. Don't you feel pity for your own violence against your own living cells which are having life, which are being capable of giving a birth? Just think upon it. Subscribe if you find this video helpful and share this video.